Hi there guys, Dr. Kev. Wanted to do a very quick video for you for my Silhouette Special, which I've just rewired to get 2 new pickup combinations that I didn't have before. I've been playing an awful lot with the classic soul band, which means that I'm doing clean tones pretty much all night. There's only 2 or 3 guitar solos in the whole gig, and you know, it's distortion and overdrive tones are not where it's at anymore, at least for me for the moment. The Silhouette Special is a wonderful instrument for that. From what I gathered, when they were choosing the pickups for it, they really wanted something with the vintage vibe, and they went sort of 60s style PAF and vintage style, warm vintage style single coils, and it's just fantastic. It's a great guitar for any of that classic soul and funk and blues. It's a wonderful instrument. Now, the problem that I had with it was in the number 2 position. It's the middle pickup, middle single coil pickup, and 1 coil, the bridge pickup, I think the back coil. And that sounds not dissimilar from what you'd expect in a similar position on a Stratocaster to sound like. The problem is that when you have half of a humbucker, you get a drop in volume. There's no 2 ways about it. It's just the laws of physics. It's as simple as that. You do get a drop in volume, and I found that volume drop was noticeable. It actually was a bit of a problem on stage, because obviously to play in clean tones now, I don't want the humbucker to be too loud, so I've taken the humbucker down a little bit from the strings so the humbucker balances a little bit better with the neck pickup. But that means that this new in-between position, with just half the humbucker, there is a volume drop. And it was quite noticeable, and I was getting lost in the mix on stage. The number 3 position was very cool sound. This was the neck pickup on its own with 1 coil from the humbucker. And that sounded a little bit like the middle position from a Telecaster, halfway between Telecaster sound and the middle pickup on a Strat. That's how I would roughly describe it. Again, I have the same issue here. When I lower the humbucker from the strings a little bit because I want it to balance better with the neck pickup, and then I use half of the humbucker for that position, I end up with an unacceptable volume drop. And again, that was getting lost in the mix on stage. So I figured I need to do something. I want to fix this. It has to be better than that, particularly if I'm playing clean tones all night, and maybe I spent 40% of the gig on the neck pickup, but the other 60% of the gig I really do use all of the other tones. Although actually, oddly enough, the middle pickup and the neck pickup I don't use that often. Anyway, there you go. So I wanted to fix that. So the way I've done it now is I have rewired the guitar so that I have the full humbucker with the middle single coil in position number 2 and the full humbucker with the neck single coil in position number 3. And that solves my problem with the volume drop. Now the volume drop for those positions is midway between the neck pickup and the humbucker. So it's quite easy now to get the balance of everything just by dialing in the pickup heights. The interesting thing is what I've done to the tone. This is the bit I want you to hear. So, in the number 2 position we have, as I said, full humbucker with the middle single coil. That doesn't sound that different from what you had before. It really isn't. It's a little fuller and it's not as bright, and obviously the volume is a little higher now. Anybody with the Silhouette Special, or anybody with any HSS guitar that does a similar thing, if you balance the lever in between the number 1 and number 2 positions, you can just make contact with both positions, which gives you the full humbucker and this on at the same time, so you get to audition that sound. Anybody with Music Man Luke, whether it's the Luke 2 or the Luke 3 HSS models, Luke already has that sound in his guitar. He has the full humbucker with the middle single coil, because it doesn't drastically change what you'd expect from a Stratocaster, but we avoid the volume drop from having half a humbucker. Of course, on the Luke guitar, with his EMG pickup, that wasn't even splittable, so I don't even know if he had a choice. But like I said, it's not a big deal. It's a great sound. It's what you expect. Position number 3. Now this one is fun. This one took me quite by surprise. Full humbucker and neck single coil sounds much more like a Telecaster, or even middle position of a Les Paul. It's halfway between the middle position of a Telecaster and the middle position of a Les Paul. We have a lot of the bottom end girth and depth that you'd expect from having the humbucker in there, and having the single coil here means that the high end is nice and bright and clean without being sharp, though. It's really a wonderful sound. And we have all that nasal honkiness that you'd expect from that position down, particularly low on the low strings of the neck here. So let's have a quick audition of everything here. I'm just going to back off my reverb a touch. Okay. Here we go. Neck pickup on its own. neck pickup sound. It's not quite as bright as some Stratocasters are. And I love that about it. It's a great sound. It's great for Hendrix style stuff, actually. It really is one of the perfect pickups for that. Position number 4, you know this sound anyway. Middle and neck pickup together. Wonderful tone. Now we get interesting. Position number 3. This is halfway between middle position of a Telecaster and middle position of a Les Paul. It's got all that nasal squank that you'd ever want from that position and sound. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. Actually, it's too much fun. A little too much fun. I wonder if I can get a fun control and just dial a touch of the front out of that one. Position number 2, which is the full bridge humbucker in the middle single coil. Like I said, it's not that dissimilar to what you'd expect, but it's nice and it's full. It's not quite as bright. I love this sound. It's great, and I don't have any great drop in volume. It's just what I need. It's perfect. And now, of course, you know what the humbucker sounds like. It's a vintage style humbucker. It's a little brighter than a big rock sounding humbucker. And just the balance and volume and the bark that this and bite that this humbucker has is just wonderful. Fantastic. Now I have all the sounds I want. I can play my clean tones all night long. I'm never going to get lost in the mix. The guitar is no longer... People tend to think of HSS guitars as somehow Strat related. The Silhouette Special, particularly with that interesting middle position being the neck single coil and one coil of the humbucker, already took it a little step further away from a sort of derivative Stratocaster guitar. Having the full humbucker on now in the 2 and 3 positions puts me even further, a little closer to Telecaster and Les Paul sounds too. It's a really versatile, far more versatile guitar now than I think it ever was before, without the volume drop that comes from having half of a humbucker in 2 of those positions. So I hope this was useful to you guys. These are really, I found this was an incredibly useful mod. I just wish I did it. I wish I did it 6 or 8 months ago. I've probably been talking about it on the forum for a year, right? Anyway, there you go. Hope you find it useful. If anybody wants to try the mod, give me a couple hours to draw up a new schematic for you, and you're more than welcome. You only have to ask, okay? Look after yourselves, guys, and be good, because remember, I'm the guy that can ban you. Take care. Bye-bye.